Producer, take us into the draft.
All right, let's see here. Dekuma is going to be up first with the pick 2, and let's see who they end up banning. I mean, I doubt we're going to see the Fortress ban again. That was so neat last game, but it looks like they're hovering over Petal. Is that going to be the final pick? Yes, so it looks like the first ban is going towards Petal.
Now, another pick that we could be saying is Fox, Lance. So we could see a Ringo ban. And we actually are going to see Adagio actually going to be banned away. They don't want to be dealing with the actual Versa Judgment, the sustain that Adagio does bring to these games.
We have seen Adagio getting picked a lot, so that is pretty solid. It kind of forces them to try to really look at the depth of their hero pool and who they can truly play. And there we go. We're going to see a Lance coming up right away. Always a solid choice in the captain position.
And with that, they're actually going to be hovering over Glaive. No, they're going to be locking in that Vox, so could be seen. And there we go. They'll lock him for Glaive. Now, we're going to have to see, because they did take away the Lance, and that has been Green Ranger's go-to captain for the past couple of games. So we're just going to have to see how they do handle the rest of these matches and possibly go with the Finn or even Ardent as the captain position. But they're going to actually pick up Alpha.
Ooh, that is going to be a really interesting pick right there. Let's see who ends. Yeah, marking they're going to have a Lance carry. I mean, I know we're probably not going to see that, guys, but it is very interesting. And oh, look at that. Fortress. That is, as you had said, like, he's taking away that Lance away, so they're going to take Fortress on this. This should be very interesting now. We're seeing Fortress being a dominating force in the TBCS, potentially.
One thing that I do want to mention, the synergy between Fortress and Vox are almost essential. Put that with Glaive, and it is going to be a dominating force by just how the actual mortal wounds work that are passively, even with the puppies, passively just straight across the board put mortal wounds on your enemies, negates any chance that you have of healing with the fountain.
Yes, and we're looking at the other side here. You're going to really have to see Alpha diving and trying to take out ILS in those early team fights, I have a feeling here, because Glaive is going to have the mobility to try to escape. So keep an eye out and see if Alpha is going to be able to die there. And let's see if we have a bit of early game fighting. No, they're both sides are going to play it safe, because as we said earlier, that middle Treant, I mean, yeah, it's nice to get, but it's really not worth risking your first blood and a 300 gold lead over.
And I mean, at the same time for this, right now, Synergy is not really in a good position to be fighting early. So Ardent, if they were in that choice, they could actually make that choice, go into the enemy jungle of Synergy, and take full advantage of the fact that Alpha early game is not really the best Alpha. She is made for late game, and that's what she is good at. But here comes the Impale, gonna be on to Illis, taking loads of damage. Here comes the Afterburn, gonna be knocking away Stan and trying to see what they can do. Late Duress taking a little bit of damage though.
Yes, and ILS needs to be careful. Don't get too close. Don't get called out. Like, if you get just a little bit too close, all it's going to take is one solid shot from Lance to get you. And, I mean, Ringo is definitely fast enough, has way more health right now, can definitely last a little bit longer. And it looks like we're going to see Stan try to head into the enemy jungle with Fantino, and they're only going to get a few bits of wave out of it. But are they going to be able to rotate up here and take this Ringo by surprise? Also,
no, they're gonna rotate over to the other enemy jungle, and they're gonna have to be very, very careful. So if they do take a chance, if Dekuma actually does rotate back, it doesn't look like they want to try to actually catch out Green Ranger or Late Duress. So it's actually gonna be a trade of backs on both sides of these teams. And I want to mention before, Late Duress, while they had actually caught out Stan, had made the passive actually be popped on Alpha, they were almost at the cost of Late Duress's life, but he was able to actually afterburn away as soon as Vantino actually had shown up.
Yes, and in that now the jungling. I mean, it basically ended up even by them going over to the other jungle, which is a pretty solid. It was a pretty solid choice for them to try to make sure that the other side doesn't get too far ahead of that front. We're still seeing no kills so far. We're seeing, and also interesting. Vantino is keeping really close to Stan, as you said. Early game alpha is not the strongest alpha, but is Green. I was gonna say, is Green Ranger gonna end up getting down there and ending up in a fight? Nope. Going to be keeping safe, placing a good bit of vision, making sure that they know when someone's going to try to come up and sneak up on them like that. Vision wins games, guys. Make sure to get some minds down when you're playing.
And with that, Green Ranger just trying to do a little bit of damage right onto it. Impale is going to land. Here comes the afterburn. I do think that was going to land on the wrong target. I did not think Laid to Rest meant to actually afterburn Valentino, but actually Dikma. But going on, Green Ranger still being that early game fortress isn't at that late game advantage. As soon as the late game hits, I mean, we're going to unlock the potential of both Fortress and Vox. But until then, Dikma and Valentino are just going to stay up in that lane, do as much harass due to the extent range that is in their favor right now.
Yes, and we're also finally seeing Alpha having a little bit of alone time down there as well. Starting to have just a strong enough build that she can kind of keep an eye on herself as long as she's not caught out of position, as long as she's being careful. And it looks like the three of them are all going to bunch up down there in the like right near the item shop, pick up a few things, start getting a little bit built. We see that Vantino has the fountain ready to pop off, or way earlier right now than Green Ranger, which could come to be a serious advantage. Green Ranger's is going to come down and buy it too, so advantage taken away really quick there. Thanks, guys. You make commentary so easy for us.
But with that, it is still almost about 5 minutes and we still have not seen a first blood. This is honestly, at this point, I'm willing to say it's pretty normal for the TBCS to actually not really have an early first blood, but we have seen it happen here at the TBCS.
Oh, and I need to correct myself quick. He did not actually manage to get the full fountain. So if a team fight breaks out right now, that is a pretty solid advantage for Vantino to be able to pop that if he needs it.
And with that, it looks like Laid to Rest is actually going to be going that CP route again, going that Storm Crown, Tension Bow, and Aftershock for that damage. So we're just going to have to watch it. But that's going to give it more time for Stan to ramp up, which is not good for the side of Ardent eSports. And hopefully that should be enough time to actually stall out Fitless and Green Ranger to build into that late game.
Oh, and it looks like they're going to get caught under the turret here. Okay, is Stan going to be able to get away?
Valentino is going to get actually afterburned away. Going to be popping the boots. Very well placed afterburn. Unfortunately, it should have been saved for the boots afterwards. But still, Valentino popping the boots and getting out there with his life just at stake. And right now, looks like Ardent eSports is going to be turning their attention to that gold mine right now.
And I think they're going to get this just about uncontested. Yes, they're not going to be able to get in there fast enough, don't have enough vision. And Laid to Rest is going to need to keep doing things like this, making sure that if he's going to build for this kind of early game aggression, then let Stan possibly get up a little bit more. He's got to make sure he's making those kinds of impacts. And that little bit of damage did help them get the gold miner just now.
And I mean, this is what Ardent, again and again, I know I sound like a broken record, but this is what Ardent eSports is known for. They take their small victories in strides, and they go for it. On the bottom in the jungle, though, Stan is getting a little bit of ahead of himself, and actually has to boot away to get away from Laid to Rest. Is actually just going to go head up to lane. Taking a look actually at that first turret, is below half health. That is extremely dangerous right now.
And on the other side, they haven't really even barely hit the turret yet, and it looks like ILS might be getting called out and out of position.
Oh, and the explosion. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Oh, is it going to be enough, though? Fountains barely saves Stan's life. Explosion ends up killing Illis. And too much damage. They have to keep that in check. As soon as the explosion protocol, actually still the ult goes off, you have to be careful with your damage to make sure you have enough time so you're not pretty much cutting the wrong colored wire.
Yes, and we're going to see here as well. We're taking a look. Vantino has a lot of gold to spend. I mean, we're seeing Green Ranger here with a good fair bit more items. But as soon as Vantino gets a solid chance to spend, we're going to be having a good time. Oh, and it looks like he's going to be cut out of position.
Valentino, though, taking a lot of damage, is just going to roll to safety. And right now, it is just surprising. Oh, but Dekuma is going to go down. Good enough damage. Stan taking a lot of damage. Here comes the puppies, trying to see what they want to do. Really, not a good choice on the puppies. You still had Team Synergy kind of on the ropes back of there, but still going in favor of Ardent eSports, and also picking up the second item, which is going to be Storm Crown.
Yes, I think it's like it was a desperation. ILS might have been able to escape on his own. I guess Green Ranger just did not want to risk it there, so he decided to pop the puppies for everybody. And let's hear Vantino still sitting on almost 3,000 gold.
Hey, he has Fountain. That's all he needs. This is a Lance.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and it looks like we're going to
on the bottom. Stan is taking a good amount of damage. He's not going to be able to get away. He pops his ult, but it's not going to do any good.
And that's going to be a small lead now for the kills on Ardent. We're seeing on the other side, though, a small gold lead. Ooh, are they going to go in too far into that turret? No.
Gold mine! I call it.
Yes, there we go. Taking another objective. Ardent Gaming just making sure they have that little advantage and keeping their gold lead, getting a little bit closer. I was trying to comment there. Hey, they got a little more gold on the other side. Nope, instantaneously proving me wrong again. Thanks, guys. You're making my job hard over here.
But I mean, this is what again and again and again and again, I will keep saying this. Ardent is known for taking their small victories in strides. And any team watching this series can take this to heart. If you have advantage, good shot calling is going to be your key. Take a small advantage, go for the gold mine. Small advantage, go for the turret. Small advantage, either go for the objectives. Because honestly, the Fold's not a big map, but it's enough to take objectives.
All right, who are we going to see?
We could be seeing a fight laid to rest after burning in a wrong scenario right now. Illis is going to be actually, yep, there we go. Stan is going to be able to pick up the next kill, but on the other side, Illis and laid to rest are the ones that are going to go down. A very poor choice by an afterburn. Green Ranger, and not in a good position right now, is going to pop the Atlas, trying to see if he can get away. He does not have Fountain available. It does look like he is going to go down. And Stan still does have his ult available. Unfortunately, that is one of the key things you have to watch out for when you're facing an alpha. Here comes another afterburn, and the aggression is real. Illa's trying to see what they can do right now. That is going to be a massive damage, barely in a nick of time, and trying to see what they can do. Valentino almost getting the kill onto Ills.
This is a really good thing that laid to rest coming in there. No. They just do not want to back off. Wow. And notice thing here. That shutdown on Green Ranger.
Another fight actually broken out. That is going to be rooting up Stan. There is no ult onto Alpha. Yakimo going to have to run. Valentino is going to be the next target for this team. Green Ranger is going to try to go after Ringo, but pops both his boots and he is twirling silver to get away to safety.
Let's take a look. Man, I keep getting interrupted here. Like, we have such great fights. Green Ranger, all 4 kills so far. Okay, wait, no, we have the one by ILS, but the captain coming in here with the kills this game, keeping things interesting. Oh, and Dekuma just gets taken down, solid afterburn, and Ardent is going to get themselves a turret and catch up on the turret wars right now.
I mean, right now, Ardent undeniably is in the driver's seat. Ever since they took that last gold mine, they have had no problems taking these fights and pushing it and keep pushing it and keep the aggression going. because there really is not much they can do. As long as they can either keep trading fights and keep going positive in these trades, they will end up winning this game.
And we're going to take a look here too, looking at the item build. So I'm seeing defense on all sides. They're trying to make sure they are ready for late to rest and ready for ILS early, which is really solid of them. You know, that little bit of tension.
Valentino is going to roll into a very bad situation. Here comes the afterburn. Githian Wall is already used right now. Loads of, but wait for it, is going to be popped. Stan's going right after Illis, trying to see what they can do. There we go. That is going to be a pop. Trying to see if it is going to be enough damage. Boots are pop. Stan is going to be the one that is going to be going down. So that even though the ult isn't going to work, and this is the problem with Alpha that we are seeing, is that ult, if you get away, you're in the clear. It's not going to do anything to the other team.
I said this early game, and you see her. She keeps trying to make sure she can get ILS down, and every time she hasn't, that seems to be the downfall in fights. And look at that. There's another gold miner taking another solid objective. A good chance they're not going to be able to be contested there and pop a little bit more gold in the lead. All they need are these little advantages, and they slowly add up to the point where they can use them to get a secure victory.
And with that, is now 4-7. They are about actually close to 2,000 gold in the lead for Ardent eSports, and we are still in this best of 5, so these teams still could go either way. And if they want to make our life even more miserable, this could go on for 8 games. If we do the math correctly, it could go 4-4, and we'd still be waiting for it. But still, Stan trying to go after it. Big amount of explosion. Trying to see what they can do right now. Wait for it. There we go. Afterburn is going to be enough damage. Don't know how Green Ranger was able to pick up that last kill, but Green Ranger trying to see it. There we go. Afterburn's going to stun up Valentino. Trying to see enough auto attacks and crits going to be enough damage. Green Ranger. There we go. Another Afterburn. And try to see. And again, watch this. They're going to go after the gold. Are they not going to go after the gold mine? Surprising.
I guess just a little bit too low for their blood this time. And man, this is so surprising to me. We're seeing the captain with the most kills out of the game. Green Ranger here is just really pulling something off. We're seeing some solid stuff with Fortress tonight.
Now, the one thing is the captain, yes, kill securing. It's a wonderful thing, but just imagine how much gold you could have given to your teammates. Oh no, Stan. Stan, buddy, why?
And
why?
This is a lesson on making sure you have vision, everybody.
Afterburn, Digima, that's going to be a double kill, and now they are going to be going after Valentino, and that is going to be an ace triple kill for Ardent eSports.
Yes, and it looks like they're going to let the minions, for the most part, go over there. All right, no, we're going to see ILS over there, just like we saw the other game. Really solid. Let's make sure this turret's down. Let's make sure we can get the Kraken while we do it. They are pressing their advantage as far as they physically can, and it's just doing them wonders. Ardent right now has all of the momentum, and all they're going to have to do is keep it up in this push. I think we said this early game. Alpha right now is really finding hard ways to get in and is kind of holding back on the side on the other team right now.
It's just, I don't know how they could take this back, but Ardent eSports, they're not even breaking a sweat right now, uncompared to what they had when they were facing OMG United. And
yes, that's interesting too. The team that they just beat was giving them even more problems right now. This is a great game one, and it looks like we're going to start the turret push. Let's see what happens, and let's see where the fights begin.
But with that, Kraken is pushing. Here comes the puppies. Wait for it. Is popped. That is going to be silence on Valentino. Here comes the afterburn. And unfortunately, Stan has nowhere to go. So he's just going to actually explode. They're not going to actually focus on him. But here we go. Illis is going to swap. That is going to be another kill. And Illis is just going to actually turn and burn. Get the double kill on both the Yukima and Valentino. And be able to push with Kraken pretty easily. Now, Alpha does not have the passive, so they can just literally kite all the way. No! Stan
No.
is going to be able to pick that up pretty easily. And here we go. Going to see.
Stan!
Look at the Crystal Miner. The
That
Crystal Miner is doing work.
That Crystal Miner that they killed early to get that extra objective actually kind of screwing them over there. That 150 gold, I mean, we probably would have seen the Kraken go down either way, but sometimes Crystal Miner can just be a bro right when you need him.
Oh my lord. Crystal Miner OP. He might as well just walk around the entire map following, because I think I rely more on the Crystal Miner than some of my solo queue teammates, but I'm just saying, in these games, it is just absolutely a fun to watch when the Crystal Miner comes out and just absolutely just helps out the entire team. But we could be seeing another fight. Green Ranger going on to stand. Here comes the Alpha Protocol right onto it, and Illis is going to be the prime target. There we go. Afterburn is going to pop up. Decuba is going to be the first one that's going to go down. Here comes the Alpha, and that is going to be exploded. But is Valentino going to be able to pick up that last kill? No, Vox is actually going to be able to pick it up, and just Illis is just teasing right now. That is going to be a triple kill, and that is going to be game number 1 for Ardent eSports.
And just taking a little look here, just mostly while we have the chance, Late to Rest has a whole free item slot right now, as they're doing really solidly. Like, it really just goes to show Ardent gets that solid early game advantage, takes things here and there as they need, and they're going to be able to crack this crystal right here, shattering the vein and taking game 1.
There we go. Remember, guys, this is a best of 5, so we could see at least another 3 games total, best of 3. The first team 2-3 wins is going to be winning. We're going to take a couple minute break to see if Team Synergy can actually take it all the way to, I mean, it's just going to be awesome to watch. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the finals. Team Synergy versus Ardent eSports.